Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Rebecca, I can just about hear you.
Okay, hold on. 1 second here. Speaker. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, hopefully that'll work. Okay.
roll call.
Roll call. Josh?
Yep.
Bob Shank?
Yep.
Frank Bork?
Yes.
Tom Reese?
Yep.
Nick Lasner?
Yes. All right, we need a motion to approve our previous minutes, which is from our special meeting on March 5th. I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And so,
Thank you.
all right, so we're on to petitions and requests from the floor. Well, sure. Sure, go on.
No, this is our first time, so we just start from here or?
Yeah.
Okay, so we started construction on a pole barn last August and found out we got false information from the railroad at the time. And then we had to stop construction to find to get a new survey done. And our new survey is completed, and to get a building permit back, which we're requesting for. They were saying that we were impeding the right of way through the town. So our surveyor actually plotted it on our survey, and it would be 0.5 feet clearance on the one side, but in the center, because of the way the land is, it would be a 4.3 foot variance that we're asking for. It's just one little section of the front of the pole barn that would be in the, what they call the town road right away.
That's what the structure in the existing position. Okay, my understanding.
Moving it forward from off the railroad property. So we would be off the property and clearing their property, but it would be in the street right away, which I guess you're saying is 25 feet.
Where would you intend to put the back of your building? Right on the property line?
No, foot in. So everything clears the property like the railroad asked us to.
So just rough measurements. I don't have a copy of the survey. You were about 30 feet from the center line of the road to the front of your structure now. You're 12 foot on railroad property. So let's just say you could build 1 foot on your property. You'd have to move that building up 13 feet. Correct? 13 feet from where it is.
She just did what you asked, Scott. She put everything on here and gave you all the dimensions on where it would sit with the right of way, if you want to look at it.
Sure. Yeah, Jamie, I'd really like to study this, but it doesn't appear correct. 4.3 foot of encroachment.
Yeah, and it's in the middle, like the middle section when she moves it forward.
Is that the wall of the building or is that the heat?
It,
My comment is gonna be 2 foot more, so you're asking for 6 feet then. It should be including the E. From what I understand.
Can I have this copy?
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
So I guess based on rough measurements as I know it today, this, again, I'd have to blow this up. I can't, even with glasses, I can't see it. So you're 12 foot on railroad property now. So if you move the back of that building so that you were 12 foot on one corner, 8 foot on the other. So let's just say
Yeah,
12
that's what
foot.
it was, yeah.
So you'd have to move the building 13 foot to get it 1 foot out of your property line. And as I measure right now, you're about maybe 5 foot to the good on the town right of way easement. So if you move that building 13 feet, definitely gonna be back into the town right of way. And right now, the way it stands, it looks ridiculously close to the road. If you move that another 12, 13 feet forward, I just don't see where it's cracking. Honestly, I'll say it again, there's really not enough room on that property for a building.
The surveyor does not believe that. She has it all plotted out. She said that there's no zoning. She told us also that we should be able to see the law that shows that there is this right of way prohibiting us of this, and I've asked for that information and we have not received it.
You just asked me to explain what a right of way was and I did, and it's a state law.
Right, 24 foot 9 inches from the
Yeah,
side of the road.
I asked for the maps, that's what they told
Oh.
me. That's all.
No,
Right.
I don't have maps, so.
I'm not sure.
So
She went through every single piece of information that they have and said that town right away is assumed. There's no documentation that shows that there's a 25-foot right.
I'll check with Road
is your surveyor going to issue another drawing, Tammy?
It is the new drawing.
Okay, because the drawing shows the pole barn on railroad property, it doesn't show it.
No, he has it moved up. It's in yellow and you just can't see it. It's hard to see because he has it in yellow. I don't know why she put it in yellow, but it's easier. You could see where she moved it up to the back of the line and then showed it 1 foot in.
It still doesn't, I think I see the yellow. And I see the 1 foot. So the question at hand is you're asking whether you can build that barn so it's 4.3 feet into the town right away.
Yes. Assumed right away, they call it. Because they said there's no documentation of it. That's what the Department of State also told me, that it's assumed if there's no documentation of it. That's why they sent me in to ask for the documentation.
I'm assuming there is, and I don't have the authority to prove it. I wouldn't issue a building permit based on the circumstances.
Yeah, the Department of State also told us the building code is set standards. There's no zoning in Machias that a board of zoning or board of zoning or a planning office sets the laws and rules, and we should be able to get that in writing. With a map with those setbacks on it.
I mean, I'd be more than happy again to provide, number one, I didn't issue a building permit, so that's, I got not in writing, but I'd be more than happy to issue a letter stating that I won't issue a building permit based on the dimensions of this drawing. I don't think a 1 foot setback off a property line, especially a railroad, is reasonable. There's absolutely no way you could maintain the back of that building, cut grass, trim weeds without accessing railroad property. And then the last correspondence they said, they specifically told you if you access their property for purpose of maintaining your building, it's considered trespass. So,
She, in her email, it says, draw line straight up from your property with overhangs and everything, and she agreed to that. So, I didn't know I was still fighting with the railroad parts, because I thought that was all cleared up. I thought it was just
well, they're not gonna take issue for having something on your property. What they will take issue for is if you have to access their property for the purpose of maintaining the building. And if you have to get behind your building and you're right on the property line, there's no way you can adequately maintain that building or property without accessing railroad land.
I didn't know that there's a discrepancy still with the railroad stop.
Okay.
I guess if we're going back to that drawing board, then I have to go back to the railroad. I thought this was an issue that you said was with the setback.
No, my contention all along is, you know, every time we talk, I've mentioned that the railroad considers anything that's on their property or accessing their property as trespass. So if you have to, and there's no reasonable way you could weed whack, trim, cut grass, maintain siding, paint, clean windows without accessing railroad property. If your barn was that close to the property line, you physically have to walk on railroad property to do that. And as they stated in their correspondence, if you do that, they will consider it trespass. So there's really, in good conscience, there's no way I could issue you a building permit for something that close, because then the town will assume the liability if you're trespassing on the property. There's gonna be clearance.
Seems like there's gonna be a lot of trespassing on railroad property with the amount of buildings that are already encroaching it. But I didn't know that that is something that in place for us trying to go forward with something.
Well, I didn't put it in place, the railroad.
Yeah,
sent
it was,
correspondence.
it became an issue based on our circumstances.
And as far as the right of way, I'll find that out tomorrow
Okay.
through the county. But in my eyes, I say no, because I am the highway superintendent. Snow needs to be moved back at certain times. The snow coming off the roof is now 4.5 feet into our right of way, which is gonna dump on the road. The water volume alone just coming off the roof is gonna cause a problem downstream. We've already had flooding. I've been here 30 years in the highway department. It's flooded that whole back thing 3 times.
So
Documented.
you're using that information to tell us.
So that's where I'm gonna go.
That property's been built for over a year and it's not caused flooding.
No, that's flooded over the years,
Mhm.
totally, from the rainwater, snow melt, when we have big snow. I've come across railroad tracks and it was lake back there. So, and 82 Potter can attest to me, I don't know if they're here, but they moved in and it flooded. And there was nothing we could do
Yeah,
for
they're friends of ours.
them. Right, so I
And
mean,
they took precautions and
Yep.
agreed around because of that
Right.
issue. But he also took precautions also to make sure that the land, you had us go through the Army Corps of Engineers
Correct.
to get that all taken care of.
Correct.
And she came out and looked at, she said our water does not even go that way. So basically,
your water goes downhill,
our
does.
water goes the opposite way, does not go backwards.
it all runs south. All water runs south.
Again,
Yep.
they surveyed the land and they said that the water was going towards the other way. They said that
The Army Corps of Engineers did?
Hmm?
The Army Corps of Engineers did? I'll have her come back out on a rainstorm and we'll see. And I can show you that exactly it goes south, goes towards the pot. Every time, been that way for 30 years that I've been here. Always goes south,
I'm just going by the information the guy gave me.
and I'm just
And
telling
said
you
it was going the right.
the
the right
years that
way.
I've been here. So, I will look up the right of way, absolutely, and I'll get back with you.
Thank you guys for coming in
Well, yeah.
person to address it, so appreciate that. Go from there.
I'll get back with you and let you know.
So nothing gets resolved when I guess we don't understand how this all works.
We kind of we have to defer to these guys as far as like town regulations and encroaching on roadways and stuff like that, so we have to pretty much take the piece on this issue and work from there.
Do we have the right to come back and,
Oh, sure.
okay,
Absolutely.
And the guys will get back with you and they'll get more information.
Tammy, is it okay if I call this surveyor?
yes,
See if I can get a larger.
how long you could have called her? She said that she was totally open for anybody calling.
Well, the only thing is, I don't wanna call and cost you guys money, so.
No, she's well aware of the issue. And she said that she's there to clear it all up. A lot of misunderstandings. Thank you.
Peter?
Peter Zorgi, under Daphne Street, so project, welcome. We've been corresponding, I know my client, corresponding with Scott, and we're here to apply for an extension. We anticipate starting construction in May. The permit was issued previous May, probably a 6-month construction period. Everything is good, it's requested, that's confirmed and section.
You guys have any questions or concerns about it?
You're talking about an extension of the special use permit?
Yeah, in order.
Yeah.
Which is allowed in the code that you've got a soil project. Safety.
I just have one question or comment.
Yes.
I read through a bunch of documentation that I just recently saw. The only question that I had was regarding, the project. The response here says, we find that there was,
I have no idea.
for the screening on the top of where it's like there was gonna 2 rows of evergreen trees to provide screening from Felton Hill and the traffic and stuff. My question is, if you know, how tall will those trees be when they're in the beginning of the project? Because it doesn't say, and it says that we should have the ability to know the height and the type of tree that it is. And I know I've driven past some projects that put these little babies in that are only 1 or 2 feet tall. And they grow 1 to 2 feet a year, so it takes a number of years for it's tall enough to block any the traffic. So that was my main question.
Is there a requirement to how tall they should be?
I didn't
That's
specifically,
fine.
so I didn't specifically see one, other than the fact that it would be.
I do believe it speaks to it in town law that it's supposed to shield view, so.
That's what I was gonna say.
However tall that becomes,
I mean, we're looking at, say 12 to 15 feet height maybe. I know, town redid the new solar law. There was a requirement that law, that the minimum height would be 10 feet upon. So, but that was, that's the new law, but
I'll try and comply with that. I didn't give that answer right now. I'm texting right now.
I just know that,
Are them trees on the berm? No, is there a berm of dirt along the side of the road?
nothing, no one else. I just,
It's just a tree line. The dirt
yeah,
line is all-
evergreen trees. I just know with that corner. I mean, it's already at that corner when you come flying up and it's like a 90-degree curve. So if there's any kind of glare at all, it's not gonna.
One in Bennington, they do have a berm.
That's what I was wondering, if
It's
they're
like a
gonna put a
6-foot
berm
berm
over,
and
like,
then the trees are gotta be 8 to 10 feet
yeah, on top of it.
on top of it.
Yeah, if there's gonna be a berm, I think, or it's gonna be close to the road, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
'Cause that's
I
gonna
mean, that's the way they did that one. You don't see them.
I mean, I'd just rather know it now.
I mean, we could. My question, I would got an answer for you. He's not sure. All the answer to that is. And not certain if the landscape show the berm there, so berm plus the tree. Okay, that's that. I think it's concerned. So.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay, yeah, I wasn't
Sure,
sure.
we can certainly follow up with that. To make sure it's done properly.
Yeah.
So would it be okay if we were to just say, whatever the grading plan is, especially on the top of the hill there, that would. That there will be agreement amongst the board that it satisfies, the screening
I can't agree. I mean, this is all on the landscaping plan that was previously approved, so I can answer it to the plan that's approved. That's that. I mean, if the plan is approved is, I believe it's not sufficient. We'll certainly work with you, but what I agree to put kind of veto power on the whole project based on this. So it's very evident with the plan. I can't
Well, or
Practice
maybe
right
we
now.
could be specific and just say 10 feet. You know, to what Scott said, you know, I didn't see anything specific, but it says that it'll be adequately screened from traffic, so. If we know, by common sense, if we just put baby trees in, then that's not gonna suffice.
What said with the extreme, the old code or the our plans?
It's part of the special use permit requirements in the whole law.
You know, what are our plans showing?
It doesn't show the specific, it shows 2 rows of vegetative conifers trees, but it doesn't give anything specific to height at all. There's a diagram that looks like a picture of a baby tree that I saw, but there is nothing that refers to height, so.
I guess if the old code, the standard isn't what the adequate screen. That means that the building inspector, code enforcement officer, for he issues certificate of occupancy or whatever the equivalent it is, certificate of occupancy. So this is a project, certificate of completion, whatever it is, saying it's done, and go ahead and turn it on. That it's gotta be adequate screen. Because that's, you know, he's gotta make that determination before he issues that.
I can interject in this special use permit renewal resolution. Number 5 says, if the solar panels are found to cause glare or glints onto neighboring structures or public highways, the applicant, GSPP, shall be responsible for addressing the glare through additional screening or other methods. If these issues are not addressed in a timely manner, the special use permit would not be renewed. So it's already covered.
Yeah, I understand that, I saw that, I wasn't ready to just get it back. And have it not, you know, be an issue in the first.
Well, so that, I mean, respectfully, if somebody would have let me know, you know, few days ago. I guess question, right? Not memorize the landscape plan, but that provision of the code seems to do that. It's completion until such time as it's successful.
Are you good with that?
I mean, when you're out on the site, it means a lot of working back and forth. Thank you very much.
That was all, yeah, that was all I did.
They're on the top of the resolution, okay, in there first.
So if you guys are good, review it, I'm just gonna read. Some of the first paragraph here and saying exactly, well, East and West. Resolution pertaining to application for special use permit for type 1 SPS facility. Okay, go to the end here. Be it further resolved, that the Jackson board is hereby reviewed and approved. The resolution is stated adopted and by adopted by majority vote of the Jackson board in an official meeting held on March 8th, 2024. The yeas and nays recorded both.
Make a motion,
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
okay? Josh?
Yep.
Bob?
Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
Tom?
Yep.
Nick?
Yes.
And the second one? This would be for West. You shouldn't have to read it, just, so I need a motion for West.
That was east.
Okay, so second?
Yeah.
Josh?
Yes.
Bob?
Yep.
Frank?
Yes.
Tom?
Yep.
Nick?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I think that was gonna be a good information.
Yeah. I didn't put anything on it. I'll be nosy. I didn't put any. Yeah. Because it's already in. Didn't have to. What exactly was I supposed to?
Oh, no, that's okay. Well, whatever you read out.
Those are the ones that are on mine. Same thing. It's the exact same. That's the resolution.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Partner reports. All I had tonight was just the financial report, which you guys will see if I email. There's a copy here for you. Now. Yes.
They're still solid.
I would. Alright, so the excavator is on site for May, just like normal, like it was before. That should be coming, and the truck will go out in May to put the body on the one ton. So that'll be gone. We're staying ahead of the potholes. I am slated for grinding Berry Road from Rosick Hill to Maple Valley. That's gonna be ground up. We'll re-blacktop that with the chips farm. We're also gonna do Tingy Road, Hooper Road. So I know there's a lot of holes on Tingy Road. We're gonna try to patch them with some dirt, get by until April. When they come out to grind that and we'll pave it. Trying to keep up with the potholes around town. Everybody sees them. Trying to keep maintaining them now. We got most of the town swept already. We're gonna do the lake if it's nice weather next week. We'll get the lake cleaned up and picked up all the sand down around there. We worked on the park. We did, got a new volleyball court in, ready to go. Got the baseball ready, so the baseball's ready to go. We fixed the door at the pool house, so we don't have to buy a new one of those. So anything we can do to save money, we're doing it. Went to the hazardous mitigation meeting, and I got a pack of the stuff that I gotta get with you for building permits. We're gonna go through that stuff and get stuff set up. So right now, we're just waiting to see what's available out there for grants for what we applied for. So, but I do have that paperwork in my desk. So, but yeah, everything else is moving forward. Trucks are going good still. They're gonna go in on rotation to be transmissions, oil and filter changes up to Penn. So them are gonna be good. Knock on wood. We've never had trouble with automatic transmission like the other towns, but we're on a program where we get them done every year, every spring. One truck's got 161,000 miles on it, and they're running a transmission truck, so we're gonna keep up with that program. Yeah, so they're just gonna start cleaning up around the lake here next week if Mother Nature cooperates. Yeah. I still got salt on the docks up there I gotta bring down, but that'll be another time. Yep.
All right, good. Thank you. Water district.
I have a report for that.
Yeah.
Fourth generation came last week and changed out and repaired several of the meters. Between Derek and fourth generation, they're still fighting with EJ Prescott to repair or replace some of the malfunctioning meters, but that is in work. I have started work on a water infrastructure improvement grant through New York State. MDA we had discussed these grants last year before they were out, before they were open, and MDA is working on an engineering report. We're going to apply for money to repair the well house that is on the hit list for Cattaraugus County Health Department. MDA did ask that we have one contact person from the board to simplify communication like they do for the Lime Lake Sewer District. You can do whatever you want, but I recommend Bob because he's retired and familiar with the district and has worked with MDA, the state and county for years and has existing relationships with them. So that was a request from MDA.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
We're meeting with them on Wednesday morning to talk about it all. Are those grants, do they have due dates? Do they have to be?
They're in June, so I'm working on them and I have a woman from town who has done grants in technical writing for years. That's her job, and she's going to help. So in between her and me and Derek, and maybe we should be able to get that. Hopefully, without any problems.
Sounds good.
And we should qualify well because they're points rated and because of our economic and population situation in this town, we get moved up on the scale, so. And because we're in trouble with Cat County. So we should do pretty well on the grant, so. And then they're hoping that they can roll that into the New York State Drinking Water Revolving Fund at some point. But it's not.
Awesome. Hey, Tom, do you have anything from the sewer?
No, not really. Pretty soon here, I'll be getting the numbers from the county and then we'll figure out what the EDUs are. But that's usually like in May or something like that. So by the time I get back, I'll be working on that.
Great.
The one thing I wanted to say
Yeah.
about our water department now, it's become an asset instead of a debt. So we should maybe be able to build our funds up a little bit too now and be able to pay for some of our water stuff too that we couldn't before because it was costing us money. Now we should be able to make money. So that's an asset to the town also.
For town clerk, the Spectrum franchise check came in today. I gave it to Josh, just for the board's information. The check was, $14,705, and it is a net gain over the break we gave them on their taxes. The town showed a profit of $10,475. So it was positive. Just for purposes, the election is coming up. Anybody that wants to register to be able to vote in the primaries needs to register by March 23rd. And early voting in Cat County for the primaries is March 23rd to March 30th in Jamestown and Olean. And then I will give, the tax collector, as tax collector, I've collected 88% of the total warrant. I have 2 more weeks left and then the taxes go back to Cat County. I will have the project for another 3 quarters. So,
You have the voter cards on your desk in there to sign up.
yes, I do have voter cards. Yes, I do have registration. All right, that's all I have.
Thanks.
Scott, code enforcement, you see the report, 5 new permits issued for certificates of compliance. I've also, with the new system, attached the specific detail, the new permits and the closed permits. Again, we are running dual systems here. I believe there's 18 outstanding permits still with the old system. I think I'll be able to close a good portion of those out by May. There's a whole bunch that are gonna complete it. They're just waiting for the weather to break and finish up. So hopefully within a few more months, we'll be able to run just on one system. It'd be great. Other business. Got a call and I included it in the pack. Main Street Solar, it looks like there's gonna be a change of owner and developer on that. They're looking for information on where to send plans and drawings. I did copy Josh on an email that I sent. I'm surmising that special use permit's gonna have to get reapplied for. Correct or not?
I would assume so, but I don't know for sure.
Let's check with Josh or Joel. I mean,
And it's a whole new organization.
So they gotta start.
That would be my understanding of it.
Would they?
But you know,
Maybe we have no relationship.
Yeah.
You know, it's a new group out here in New York City, right?
yeah,
But
it was a company called RIC. Now it's at the end.
AW.
Yeah.
So do they fall into our new
Yep, they would have to do the new solar law.
requirements, right?
Yes.
I would hope so.
If they start from scratch, if it's a new company.
I think it would probably be worth that call to Joel to find out.
If a new application would have to fall under.
I would think.
Yep.
And I would think they would be enough. Ownership.
So after receiving my email, waiting for that, Fred Dwyer is despondent over it. The email on my computer is lit up with replies, so I'll give him a call tomorrow, but I'll share that preliminary news with him, although in my email I did suggest that we would be getting a hold of the town attorney to find out what our course was.
Well, wouldn't you think, though, if you were gonna take it over like that they would have reached out to us before deciding to see what it was gonna look like for us?
Most likely they purchase it with contingency. One being, they get, I wouldn't think they purchase it. How would you wouldn't assume, I would. Although there's been dumber things done.
Oh, yeah. 3717 Riceville Road took a permit last, say, August, September timeframe. Couple there got some siding and roofing work done. The contractor protracted that job out. On inspection, the workmanship, it's a local contractor, just absolutely hideous. They're just horrible.
That used to be the White House, right? The one right in the corner, Lauren's old house, it's horrible.
So the initial inspection was back a few months ago. I took some pictures, talked to the contractor. It was just kind of amazing. I would even have to point out that it was ridiculous. He did make some corrections, but it's marginally better, but it's still nowhere near meeting code on the basis of workmanship. I would imagine at this point, there's going to be some court times. I think the owners are going to take the contract to the court, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Property maintenance violations, as I mentioned last meeting, we're starting to populate the new system. We are at kind of a crossroads though, because there's some very bad problems in town. We've got junkyard down at 16. On the west side of the road, we've had that issue there with garbage and stuff all over the place, dilapidated. Really, I think the name is, been multiple letters, certified return receipt requested. At the end of the day, I guess we're gonna have to figure out a better way to hold the feet to the fire, because town justices, I think, are reluctant to bring these people in, and I don't know whether it's the town prosecutor that doesn't want to deal with property maintenance issues, but I did catch Joel out in the parking lot as he was leaving, asked his opinion. Patrick told me, don't bother wasting your time in town court, because people know that you can't really, although you can send them a summons, there's no way to bring them in. If they choose not to come in, there's nothing you can do with the governor's new bail reform, all that good stuff. He says you can, on the town's dime, take them to Supreme Court and take care of it that way, but I don't know that the town has the funds to do that. But at the end of it, we're gonna have to figure out a better way of getting at some of these chronic abusers.
Then we should the one down. You should talk to York.
I've talked to Chris about that.
Yeah, was Valley Road taking over that property that's working on it. That's something we might have to do.
Well, that again gets into years and years of chasing people, trying to get them in here. I'd be more than happy to sit in court and go through property maintenance, which you have to have, willing participants. So anyway, just an update there. I do get about 30% cooperation when I send the letters out. Some people are good about it, they understand and get right at it. And a lot of these places have been collecting and dumping for years, so you don't expect it to happen overnight. But a lot of it, like Lambert's down there, I went and talked to Mike, and he's got absolutely no intentions of cleaning any of that stuff up and moving it off the road.
What about on Franklin?
That property maintenance letter was issued and there's been no activity. And we had the fella in from Hazelmere who came in a little bit upset, but he committed to clean up and re-roof that place. Very unlikely that that'll happen, but we'll try. And again, you hit about 30%, but the more chronic users in the town really not making too much of that.
Did you want to mention another? See?
That never came. I got 2 calls from a real estate agent tonight about the Bear Creek property. There's apparently a developer, sounds like New York City, that's interested in creating some, job training corps and building dormitories. I asked them to put a kind of a business plan together and submit it so we had at least an idea of what was going on. Real estate agent called me twice, said she was sending an email and never came. Give her a call tomorrow as well.
Thanks, Scott.
Oh, one other one. There was a fire at a house on Canada Hill Road, on your residence. A roofing contractor out of Rochester kind of caused the fire. He actually stepped up to the plate. He's been trying to work with the owner to rehab this house. The house is an absolute disaster before it caught fire. The project is kind of stalled right now. I've been in contact with both parties. Honestly, don't know what they're going to do. I know the roofing company made the owners a cash offer to kind of settle up. I don't think that was accepted. The big problem at hand is the amount of money it will cost just to make this house livable. It's far in excess of what the house would have been ever worth. It's just absolute disaster inside. Minus the water damage. Wait, more to come on that.
Thank you. Youth Commission.
So we don't have too many new changes. We start ramping up in the next month or so, but we are solid with our chicken barbecue on Monday, May 27th, which is Memorial Day. And it will be at the town fire hall right after the parade is done as usual. And then we're fully staffed at this point for both lifeguards and the summer rec program. And we're taking steps to get make sure that everybody has all the certifications that they need. And thank you to the highway department for getting the volleyball, baseball, and pool house door. Thank you.
That's great, thank you. I'm glad that it's fully staffed or that's awesome.
Yeah.
Next thing we have tonight is, we have committee reports and we have an update from our planning committee.
Take over on that. We've had 2 meetings, well, actually 3, but 2, and trying to develop some goals and things. We do have a copy of our goals and stuff. I will read through that real quick, just for the people that are here. Introduction is the town, well, the title of it is the future of Machias. Where do we go from here? And the town of Machias is a small rural town that encompasses Pine Lake, Machias Junction, and surrounding farmlands. With the development of the Great Lake Cheese Factory located 7 miles to the south of Machias. And the town of Franklinville, the pace of development in our community is poised to accelerate at a much greater rate than ever before. Now is the time for our township to move quickly to prepare for this growth and to ensure that this growth is desirable. One such tool that assists the management of growth is a comprehensive plan. And this is what we're working towards. The community has changed and will continue to change. It's unavoidable. Comprehensive plan will help steer our community in the desired direction. This is your community. As a resident, you have the right and obligation to decide its path to the future. Your participation and input will be a valuable resource in the process. We are forming a questionnaire that's going to be circulated throughout the town, and we'd like people to fill that out so we have an idea of what the townspeople think needs to be done. Our objectives of the comprehensive plan is a shared vision for the town's future. It represents the values and priorities of the community and serves as a guide to making future land use and planning decisions. The shared vision articulated in this community's goal also provides guidance for decision makers at local and county and state levels. The goals of the comprehensive plan are general in nature, but they remain relevant long term. The potential goals are to maintain and enhance the rural character of the town, maintain and enhance the agricultural economy of the town, protect the environment and lake resources of the town, and encourage various types of economic development in the town of Machias. assure that an adequate and well-maintained housing stock while maintaining the rural character of the town, maintain and enhance the public facilities, and protect the important cultural and historic resources of the town. Now, we studied, surveys that were put out by the town of Great Valley, Royalton, and Sardinia. We reviewed them, and then we shrunk it down. We didn't want it too long, because you figured people aren't gonna want a lot of several pages. So we shrunk that down. We do have a copy of the proposal there, of what our questionnaire would be. And the question comes up as to the time frame on it. Haven't decided time frame to get it back. We do need to get time to get it back and get it circulated. We thought we'd distribute it through local businesses, fire department, churches, cottage owners association websites, and so on, to get that done, to get it out there to people. So our next meeting is set for Monday, the 1st of April. We'll meet the first Monday of every month. You know, I'm moving forward. So that's about where we're at right at the moment. The other thing is that this is not, a lot of this related to this area. I'm on an environmental planning board for Edinburgh County. We had that meeting this morning. There is going to be a major push for right to farm law to be installed in these towns around there. And I don't know whether you have a copy of that. I don't have a copy. Now, there's liabilities involved with that too, so I mean, it's a double-edged sword, but it is a big thing. We do need to protect our agriculture. That's about it for me. If anybody's got any questions, I'll try and answer them.
What time, Dave, what time your meeting's gonna be?
6 o'clock, it's a library. Yep. First Monday of every month.
Well, as far as the right farm thing, I pushed that quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And was told that the county had one that we didn't have to worry about. But I disagree.
Town does have one, but I disagree also. Each town should have a right to farm.
Yes, it should.
I think that would be very good.
Don't we have a right to farm law? We're right to farm.
We've got
Right to
one,
farm.
we've got the one with the county as well as I know.
I thought we passed one, I thought we had.
We have some,
Yeah, hold on.
That's what I'm sure.
if it's on par with what we want it to be currently.
Yeah.
You mentioned a double-edged sword, what's the other edge?
Well, the edge sword is, and the other edge of this is that, the town might wind up with some responsibility for something. Say if roads got damaged by heavy equipment or something like that, that could come back onto the town. There's a right farming law.
Farming equipment you talking about?
Farming equipment.
No, yeah, that ain't gonna change.
No.
Look at the purpose now.
Yeah,
No, I agree.
we passed a right to farm law in 2018. It's local law 2018 3. So I will email that to all of the board just so you can see it. Now I can get a copy for you, Dave. But
I appreciate that.
yeah, we do. It's,
I'm pretty sure we passed the law on that.
Okay.
I'm pretty.
You must have got it passed. You just forgot your old.
it's not very long, but we do have.
CRS.
And just to, on the double-edged sword there, where he said farmers tear up, most all of our farmers around here that have tore up our roads have stepped up to the plate and helped fix.
Mhm.
I have no problem with our farmers with, absolutely. Like I say, most all of them have no problems. They all stepped up, no problem. There's been a few times that roads got plowed up. Literally plowed up.
There have been some questions also about agricultural districts. Now, large farms can be in an agricultural district, or they don't have to be. The advantage of being in an agricultural district is you don't get any tax deductions or anything for it, but it protects the farmer's right to farm. So in other words, if you have an issue, I had one in Little Valley, I had undetermined farm protection. And we had one in Little Valley years ago where there was 19 acres that was worked for. It got sold. There was a senior citizens housing project that backed up to it. Now Little Valley said that could no longer be a farm, meaning that it was changing hands. They were in an agricultural district, we went to court and we want to still farm. So it does protect your right to farm. big thing with an agricultural district. Now, in the taxes, you look at these and you'll see a lot of places that say it's an agricultural district and they're not. So I was talking to Dan Martinez over the town, and we're gonna remove that thing, county tax rolls now, so I won't tell you whether it's a ag district or not. You wanna find out, and then get home to the county and find out. So that's gonna be a change that's coming.
Okay,
Thank you, Dave.
That's it.
Appreciate it. All right, on to old business, we have a draft investment policy here. That I put forward, there's been some, a few changes or a few modifications amendments here that are highlighted in yellow and blue, which is that. It's,
that's one we got in here, right?
yeah,
Yes.
it models the office of the councilor's model, investment policy. It's been updated with auditory amounts if you look on the side. For a New York Classic Community Bank funds. So if you guys are comfortable with that, I can move on to the resolution for it. This is a resolution to establish investment policy for the town of Machias.
I did see a lot.
It's the third one.
Yeah.
You can read through them. Yeah. So this resolution is stated above, is hereby adopted by the majority vote, Machias Common Board of March 18, 2024, the yeas and nays recorded below.
Motion?
I'll make motion.
What was that for?
It's the investment policy resolution.
Okay,
It's the one that you guys had written.
okay.
Josh,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
Nick.
Yes.
I didn't have anything for new business. You guys have anything to support them? Board member, cultural,
Nothing this time.
executive session, I'm aware of.
Steve Jones, I think we got somebody in the audience.
Oh, sorry, yes, sir.
Just wanted to let you know that you got a problem down in graveyard. Where the water spigot is a cedar tree that has a 16-foot hole in it. That's the mouthpiece.
Oh, yeah, okay, it was, yeah, Mike Pinavio was gonna address that, because they were honeybee. So, it will be, yeah, thank you, yeah, thank you, they're starting to wake up, yeah.
It's right next to the water spigot.
Yeah, I will make sure it gets addressed again, yes.
My next question is the dam that's over here in the China. They have a right of way road. Am I allowed to fish there? And can I walk that right of way road to get there if I have?
That's a county situation. The county owns that dam.
Everybody, Chris.
Yeah, that's the way was told to get down there, see that access road, drop the dam, so that's just wondering.
Well, see, that was in your wheelhouse back in the day, right? I mean, damn, that's on private property.
Well, part of it is, but the county has jurisdiction.
Right away, right? Or,
Yeah, the
yeah.
whole shoot match. So county takes care of it, the county does everything.
So technically, that wouldn't be allowed to fish on
That's what we were always told. That's what we were always told.
legally.
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 They're like you.
Stay down with your ball and act like Joe Biden.
Right.
Yeah, that was, that's my two questions.
Okay.
My name is Roy, by the way, and I'm a deacon over the church over here. I'm putting a request in for who I volunteer to paint up our hydrants, our water hydrants. And the town or the fire department can supply the paint, I can supply the volunteers to do that as good gesture towards the town.
I missed it. I was looking up the law.
I saw it on a deacon over here at the church.
Okay.
Deacon. For volunteering my service as well as other volunteers to go around and scrape off the fire hydrants and repaint them.
I mean,
If it's supplied with some material, then we could go around as a group and do that.
I'll bring it up.
And map of where they all are.
Yep, absolutely. I'll bring it up to the fire chief. He works for me. I'll get back in touch with you either weekend.
Yeah, you can reach me through the church.
Right over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will, take care of that tomorrow. He'll be over tomorrow morning. so.
Thank you.
Thank you, very generous,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, we have the abstract of vouchers. Anybody got a chance to review
No,
that?
this is one that you'll always have to read because I don't complete it until right before the meeting, because bills come in until right before the meeting. So, yeah. So. Even if you just read the amounts, I mean, the rest of it never changes, so.
So audit claims for March 2024. Whereas the town clerk has received and vouchered all bills for March 2024, abstract number 3. Whereas the town board has reviewed abstract 3, and whereas the town board has audited vouchers included on abstract 3 and approved payment. Now therefore be resolved that the town board authorizes payment of all vouchers on abstract 3. If they're listed there. You guys want me to read the amounts?
They all have a copy in front of them.
Good with that. I'll go good.
The resolution as stated above is hereby adopted by majority vote of the Machias Town Board and the official meeting held March 8, 2024. The yeas and nays recorded as well.
I'm good.
Josh,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Bob?
Yep.
Tom?
Yep.
Yep.
All I have, anything else, is there any? With a motion to adjourn,
Motion. Second.
on favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
Hey, Rebecca, would you put
Thanks,
Timmy on the
Tom.
phone with me for a minute?
Yep, hold on.